Hello there everybody. Some people over on Reddit wanted me to make a quick little video about BeamNG's new Drive alpha demo to sort of go over the what you get if you actually buy into the alpha. At the moment you can download a quick tech demo which has a Jeep and you can drive it around on a sort of untextured environment. But just today they released what they've called the BeamNG Drive Alpha Test, which you buy access to for 10 quid, which is fine really. And what you get over the basic tech demo is 5 vehicles, some different terrains, and future updates of the game. At the moment it's not, even this Bible version isn't really a game as it doesn't have any real gameplay in it, but they're going to start supposedly adding frequent free updates, vehicles, features, gameplay and bug fixes. So for a tenner you can't really go wrong. I'm going to load it up now and show you what you get. So when you boot up the Drive Alpha, you get given the same menu that you're probably used to with the demo, with the tech demo. It's got all the graphics options you'd expect. This is using the Torque 3D game engine, which you might be familiar with other indie games using it. But what everyone's interested in is the physics that BeamNG have developed, which can be used in other game engines presumably, as well as this Torque 3D engine that they're making their own gameplay in. To go over what you get with the alpha version, there's the cliff demo that you might have seen a video of online at some point, where it's just it basically just spawns you in a vehicle that's falling down a cliff and there's nothing you can really do, but you get to see all the way the cars deform and the bits fly off them, which is quite nice. There's like a derby arena for crashing into people. At the moment I don't think there's any AI and there's no multiplayer, so it's a bit limited, but presumably in the future they might have a crash mode that they're going to put into it. As I say, they're adding features to it, and this is literally like fresh off the oven rack at the moment. Dry Rock Island, which is just a little island you can drive around, which I'll load into in a second. Grid Pure sounds extreme, but it's literally just a flat graph paper textured environment. And then there's this weird grid map, which I think is what the tech demo, the basic free tech demo, has that environment in it. And there's a racetrack, which actually I'll load into the racetrack now. The game works with an Xbox 360 controller perfectly at the moment. Unfortunately my pedals are on loan to someone, so I can't test it with a wheel, but in the next couple of days I'll get my pedals back, so I'll do an update video and see how it actually works with the steering wheel. The basic driving, I'm going to turn the audio down actually in the game. The interface is a little bit tech demo-y rather than gamey. I'll have to go back to the main menu. So the game crashed when I went back to the main menu. That's one thing to be noted about this, is it's so alpha that when you go in and out of stuff the engine is liable to crash, but I'm sure it's the type of thing that gets fixed over time. This is really early access and it's to be expected really. I'm going to change the audio, so here we go. Just turn the volume down. This is exciting. Okay, back to the level. Let's see if it crashes. Yeah, I mean, with alpha software, things are going to crash, especially when loading in and out of things or doing unexpected stuff. So, the basic vehicle that you get when you first spawn, it's like a truck. You notice it's a bit. There's a little bit of a wobbly overreaction going on in the physics in general. Everything seems a bit jelly-like, which is the sort of thing that again I think will easily be toned down. It's all just about polish, but the key thing is that the fundamental underlying physics seem as if they do have potential. I mean, it's not doing really crazy stuff. It's a bit floppy at the moment and it is missing things, but then there's bits of, there's a hint of potential of something really special underneath the hood, but it's hard to tell at this point in time. If I was going to compare the physics to anything that was available right now, the general nature of the cars seems fairly similar to what the cars drive like in Grand Theft Auto, the previous one, the most recent one that's come out, Grand Theft Auto IV, but with a bit more sophistication there. So it's as if it's got proper physics, but they just need to dial it all in and polish it, really. The thing that really stands out that works really well already, which they've already shown off in some of their videos, is the damaging, in how the materials deform when you hit into things, and how bits of the vehicles fall off. So I'll just drive into a wall. You'll have seen it in the other videos, but the damage modelling is what really stands out at this point in time. So maybe that's probably why they've got the Destruction Derby environment in there, because it would make sense for them to focus on the damaging aspect of the vehicles at this point in time, as it's something that already seems to work quite well in the alpha version. But it's really impressive how it's deformed based on where the forces hit it. A bit reminiscent of the game Flat Out. You might not have played that, but that had sort of reasonable damage in it, and it had like a ragdoll character that would fly out the window when you crash. But this is like on a whole another level. And there's a whole load of games you can imagine them making with this, using this the damage modelling alone outside of the actual car physics. But I'm going to load up another vehicle. To change vehicles, it's Control E, obviously. So if you press F1, it gives you all the controls. So like I said, it's more like a tech demo interface at the moment than an actual game. But for tenner, it's all right. Can't complain. Let's spawn as a Gavril D series. Rear wheel drive. Oh, that's what I was. Obviously, let's spawn as something else. H series. Oh, it's a van. Okay, let's see what this van's like. Nice. It's got nice reflections on it. A good real time. I guess it's a cube map, I don't know. Whatever, it's a nice reflection. You can go into the vehicle and drive from the vehicle, and you'll notice the everything's a bit bobbly and jelly-like. But saying that, it's not terrible, considering this is an alpha, and it's really early. These are all things that just come with polish, really. One really noticeable thing about the actual controlling, obviously I'm using Xbox 360 controller at the moment, the car doesn't seem to have like self-righting torque on the wheel, so when you turn into a corner, you start just going left and right violently. It'll be interesting to see how it plays with a steering wheel. Obviously you could put, in the force feedback, you could put force of spring on in the Logitech Profiler, but with the Xbox controller, it's very easy to get into a bit of a tank slapper. But you do notice things subtly, like accelerating out of corners and counter steering as you accelerate out, and you can balance the car to some extent, in this case the van, on the gas, which is a really good sign for what's an early alpha of a game. Driving with an Xbox controller is pretty stupid anyway, so it'd be really good to try this with my wheel and pedals when I get them back. I'll load another vehicle. Another things to show off all the different vehicles. If you're on the fence for buying into the alpha, I would probably buy into it. For a tenner, you're going to get the free updates, and who knows? It might end up being something really good. It might end up getting stuck in development hell, which is often the case with these games that have essentially infinite complexity to actually develop. But I think it's worth throwing a tenner at the devs. You can already. This is a four-wheel drive car, and you can already, when you drive it, it does have the characteristics of a four-wheel drive car. So it's got the underlying physics there. It just all needs polishing and tightening up, really. So looking around the car here. There are some weird things going on with the wheels and the sounds at the moment. The everything's sort of very much on and off, bobbling around. It's not really, like I say, it's not been polished, lack of polish, but it's not a turd, so let's do some off-road. I think there's a dirt track somewhere down here. Oh, this video really has gone off the rails. It was going to be a succinct introduction to what you get with this BeamNG Drive demo, and it's just turned into a weird Let's Play type video. But the environment's actually really nice, and the graphics are really well done. I'm not running things on full in order to get a reasonable frame rate with fraps, but it's I mean, if these driving mechanics were in another game, for example, you'd be more than happy. It's not, as it is now, you wouldn't really class this as a high-end simulation of cars in terms of the raw driving. But that's purely because it lacks the polish. But if this was in any other, you know, sort of arcade game, this would be way, way above what you'd expect to find. It's interesting to see if I can do just a little bit of damage to the side of the car, burst tyre. The different surfaces have different amounts of grip on them, as you'd expect. There's a handbrake, I don't know, you can sort of lock it on and drive with the handbrake on. Definitely going to have to try this out with a wheel. I think you might have to edit a file in order to actually get a wheel working with it. They seem to have just designed this around an Xbox controller for now. Let's spawn another car. Is that the Jeep thing? The truck? Oh no, it's a... You can imagine, so like if these sort of physics became the norm in just your average game. I mean, this is, like I say, at the moment it's similar to the Grand Theft Auto physics, but it already has a lot more depth to it than that. And it's if you just had other gameplay mechanics. If this was the default for driving games, that'd be fantastic. I can imagine there being a really fun Destruction Derby game built into this at some point. Oh, just there's rocks absolutely destroying the underside of my car. I think there's a sports car. Let's just go through all the cars. You could drive some steel barrels. She can't actually drive. A concrete barrier. Oh dear, wrong button. Concrete barrier. Again, not very drivable. Cones. Flip ramp. The gravel Grand Marshal. Ibishu Corvette. That's that four-wheel drive car. Gravel D series, which I think is a truck, yeah. A whole bunch of road signs that you can spawn as. Civetta Bolodi. I'm probably reading these totally wrong. Don't know what's wrong with me. Oh, here we go. So that's a real car. Takes a while to load the different levels, but I think that's sort of talk 3D for you. But it's not terrible. What was the name of the... There we go. Let's see how this goes over the bumps. This is the same level that was in the free tech demo. So if you just want to have a go with the one truck and just sort of see what things are like, just use that. Like I say, I think it's worth picking up the access to the alpha because it gives you free updates, and it's good to support teams that are doing new things with physics. and you are buying access to the game effectively. So, oh, look at that suspension travel. This reminds me of those sort of 80s, 90s adverts where they're showing off the actual technical performance of cars rather than just going, "This is a brand, buy the brand." Okay. Well, I think I'm going to stop things for now. I'm going to go up that ramp at full speed because it's there. But as a basic introduction, I think I've just covered the basics. As soon as I get my pedals in a couple of days' time back, then I'm going to do another video seeing how it works with a steering wheel. Whoops. Okay, ramp time. I already dented my bonnet. There we go. It's going to cost about 500. Oh my god. I say it's not perfect yet. There goes my bumper. Alright, get rid of my bumper. I want to do the jump. Get off me. There we go. Oh, this game would be so awesome if it was. So if any of you played the old Interstate 76 games, if you could actually do shooting out of the windows and bits of bodywork would come off the cars. I mean, it could go either way. If they did a pure simulator with it, it would be fantastic. It'd be really nice to have another simulator on the market using a different physics engine and different methods. But again, if they themselves use this technology to do a new sort of Interstate 76, like Cars Shoot 'em Up, or a new Destruction Derby game, or if they just license it to other people, it's all good really. It's really fantastic to have developers actually doing something new and exciting with cars rather than, oh, here's another sort of semi-sim, semi-arcade driving game. So this is something quite exciting, and so throw your money at them. And I'm going to do this ramp. I'm going to do it from the onboard view to be authentic. This is a build-up. That's what it feels like in real life when you're on graph paper and there's a ramp and your life depends on making the jump. Will I land? Oh, I can't even drive. Oh, I've lost my position. Okay, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to do it from the bonnet. Too risky to do it in car because my neck needs to be detached from my shoulders, which happens sometimes when there's a lot of stress. It happens. There we go. Oh god, hit the ramp, hit the ramp, hit the ramp, hit the ramp, hit the ramp. Oh, oh. I can fly! Oh dear. It reminds me of that YouTube video. I'm going to embed the YouTube video. Side by side comparison. This game needs replays in it. Doesn't have replays. I'm going to do that from a different view and pretend it's a oh, it's just spawned me there. Pretend it's a replay. Let's see what this looks like from outside. Yeah, it reminds me of there's a YouTube video where it's from, I think it's either from the 80s or it's from modern day Russia, and it's a guy doing a jump in a stunt car on a massive ramp and he's not even close to making the landing. It's terrible. Here we go. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, that wasn't really as good as the first one. Right, I'm done. Buy this, the demo. Go on the website. It's not a demo, the alpha. Go on the website. Pick it up for a tenner or whatever that is in dollars. That's probably like €12, $15. Buy it. And hopefully they'll keep working on this, and we'll see more exciting things come from the BeamNG team. Maybe they'll change the name to something more easily pronounceable. They'll petition them to. But really exciting for now. It's early days, and like I say, I'll do an update video when I get my steering wheel.